Welcome to Date Night. I'm Will, your friendly neighborhood game mom, aka your GM.
And I'm Amy, and I play Kira. I'm married to Will.
And I'm Will's nephew. I'm Sam, and I play the Grease Wizard.
I'm Eva. I'm married to Sam, and I play Arin, the half-orc barbarian.
I'm Mike. I'm the fifth wheel, and I play Darren Hammerstone.
And we play
Dungeons and Dragons.
And Dern goes, and everybody grabs onto the ropes, and it gets hauled up into the ship. And you watch the thunderclouds slowly start drifting off to the west.
And now, what is Mike going to do for the rest of the podcast?
Mike can be quiet.
Well, he apparently can't
I
laugh
guess we
audibly.
all look
Mike can
pretty
be our
mad as
laugh
we
tracks.
watch it go.
Okay. And Mike moves his microphone. So what's next? Calman just goes, I wish I wouldn't have fish fetched the Mitch.
Darren jumps off the ship, goes and gives Calvin a hug, and then jumps back on the ship.
I meant it when I said that I thought we should all stick together, but, you know.
Don't you leave too now.
No, I meant like that's
And a portal open. No.
No.
No, Kira, I meant like, you know, the majority of us, you know.
What?
I meant it when I said we should all stick together, but if the majority of you are staying, I'm staying too, but we can all
Thank
be
you.
mad at Dern together.
Yes, okay, thank you.
But I still meant it, and I feel like you should know that.
Okay, I guess.
We can still do it, guys.
Guys?
We're the Hunterthorns, for gosh darn sake.
It's okay if you laugh audibly, Mike.
I don't know the rules.
Are we still the Thunderhorns?
No.
We don't have the Thunderhorn anymore.
Oh.
And then,
Well, you can still cast Thunderwave, can't you?
yeah, but Grease Wizard's not very happy right now.
Of course not. Neither are we with their little clippy thing.
And Max actually did not go. He didn't go up on the ship with everybody, I should mention. He's still standing there with the big shield of balance strapped around his arm. He says, I've always lived on this island. I'm not going to the mainland.
Where is your accent from, my guy?
This is an old Lamoshian accent. I lived quite a while in a place called the Labyrinth, which isn't far from Silver's Blessing, before I took to the road. And that's probably where I'll go back to and try to start again.
I'm trying to figure out where that is in reference to Raventree and here and everything.
I still
It's
don't remember.
Close, 3 days from Raventree. It's far and through the Painted Valley from here.
Okay, so Kira now turns around and looks at everything. And aside from the crowds of people, is there anything around here?
It's an empty beach with, big sections of it torn up by these big creatures. There are the dead dragons. And there's one tree that saved Calman growing up in the middle of the nowhere, basically.
There's nothing here. Should we go back to Raventree then?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm still not completely sure what we're supposed to be doing.
I think at this point we're supposed to head south.
Is Raventree south?
It's an easier place to start from.
But is it south of here? Someone pull out that map.
It is, yeah. Quite a bit south of here.
Okay, Raventree it is.
You sort of got the impression from... I'll just summarize some of the stuff because it's been a while.
And Dern is gone.
Takashi,
But whatever.
you basically asked him how you could try and stop this blight. He said you were pretty much going to have to sneak around the back of this force. They're pretty unguarded that way because they've destroyed everything behind them. And he suggested that really the only way he could get there with his spies without them being destroyed was to go through the Underdark and come back up around behind the Force. You
do that.
know of one entrance to the Underdark so far. So,
Temple of the
Are we going to see
First.
Victor?
yeah, it was in the Temple of the First Land was the entrance to the Underdark that you almost went into after fighting the Bellboy.
Well, guys, I have good news and I have bad news.
Max, would you care to come with us back to Raventree?
Yes, Raventree would be much more convenient to get back to the labyrinth, and I could resupply there, certainly.
Are you sure that your hometown isn't blighted?
I do not know. The last time I went through the Triangle, it was safe, and Labyrinth has survived many attacks. It survives the Great War. I doubt that it is blighted. But I do not know. I've spent this time in the Painted Valley following in your footsteps and gathering in the spoils that I have lost now.
Kira steps over to the tree now and holds out my pretty princess pencil. Since we have multiple pencils.
That is the wigwam stick?
Wimmly wommly.
Wimmly wommly stick.
I wait for the others to gather round. Are they doing so?
Wait, before we go, is Kalman here?
Yep, I'm here.
Are you coming too?
Yeah, I don't... Let me just throw one rock.
Okay.
And he picks up a rock and throws it into the ocean, and he goes...
And a giant monster emerges away.
And he just goes, bucket list. All right.
Okay. Grease Wizard, are you ready?
Right. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so they all gather around and wimmly wommly. I don't remember the final word that you said with it. Wimmly wommly.
It's not working.
10 minutes later.
roll an intelligence check.
Let's see if you can remember the last Wommely.
10?
Okay. It was poof.
Oh, I
No,
remember
poof
that.
is me curing wounds.
Wasn't it poof?
I think it was poof. I wanted to say poof.
Wimmly
think
wommly,
poof will
wimmly
work?
wommly, wimmly wommly, poof.
And you're back in Raventree. Surrounded by the thorny hedge around the Raventree, which has since been repaired from the time where Akagi and his sort of flaming sword had busted a hole through the side during that fight with Sator. The thorns here are thick and healthy, sort of obscuring the rest of your view of the city, and you're alone underneath the Raventree. And it's been, I'd say, a month since you've been in Raventree. Maybe a little bit longer because you went to the Triangle first, and then
Yeah.
you went on the long trip up to the Painted Valley and then through the Painted Valley. So looking at maybe 5 weeks since you've been there.
Alrighty.
Should we do something in Raventree or should we just keep moving?
Well, we should at least supply and sell some of our extra stuff.
Right. I think, listen here. Let's wait 48 hours just in case Dern decides that he wants to come back. Gives him time. He knows this is the first place. Give us 48 hours.
How would he get here?
Right on. He's got a flying ship. If he wanted to, he could get back here. So let's give him 48 hours. 48 bloody hours. This blight's not going to end the world in that long.
Well, first off, it could. Second, I know you're trying to do the right thing, but I don't think he's coming back, bud.
I don't think so
I could
either.
at least use a rest.
Yes.
Right on.
I'm feeling pretty ragged.
Yeah, we could take a long rest.
Either way, it's afternoon at this point, mid-afternoon.
we could take a siesta and see how we feel mañana.
All right. 36 hours.
I don't speak
Is
Goblin.
that orcish?
I slowly trudge out of the hedge towards the tavern in place.
All right. As soon as you leave the hedge, you see that the town has changed a lot, or the village has changed a lot since you've been here.
Is that the Charlie Brown opening music?
Kira's very
We all walk
sad.
with our heads hung.
First, you see the familiar sights of Alani's formerly Sator's hut, which is near the Raventree, the closest building. You see the workhouse and storage area that was built down there. Jerry and Jenny's gem and junk juicer with Dudley the Monkey Boy's magic melting stand set up outside of it.
Do they have a franchise here, or do they just have they been parked here?
Their wagons
There's multiple
parked here
Dudleys?
on the road. No, just one.
The weird thing is, it's not always Jerry and Jenny, but there is always a Dudley.
Yeah, they're set up near the road and also near the barn in this little village. But as you start walking over to Chief Tagada Inn, you see the common house has been rebuilt, the one that had burned in the bandit attack. And
I like how you say "had burned," as if it just kind of happened.
You remember when you burned that thing to the ground?
And there's a
Glare
huge
at
tent
He was
Grease
helping.
Wizard.
set up near the thorny hedges, near the tower where Yohei had been sounding the alarm.
And
which
peeing
is-
his pants.
And peeing his pants in the west part of town near the tree bridge.
There's a huge tent there.
Yeah.
Can I tell anything about it other than it's a giant tent? Is it a circus? Are we going to the circus?
Legally, you have to tell us
throwing-
if we're going to the
I'm
circus.
making notes now. Roll
Perception
a perception
roll.
check.
I would also like
Sight,
to.
assuming
Never
Or you
mind.
could just walk over there.
11. It depends on the path.
You
Well,
can just see the tent from sort of near the inn.
I rolled a 3, so Aaron looks up and goes, "Oh, the circus is in town."
But you're looking the other way.
she looked at the river.
You also hear blorp, blorp coming from the direction where the oryx was previously.
The blarp beasts are here. I just hope they have skin this time.
Fair hope. That's always a fair thing
The
to
bar
hope
is so low here.
And I walk into the inn.
for. Okay.
Wait, we're not going to the mysterious tent first?
Well, I said it depends on where it is, and he says you see it from the inn, so I'm closer
Going
to the inn.
Okay. The inn is bustling. Yohei is trying to keep up behind the counter, but he is at a loss. He's used to serving no more than 3 or 4 people at a time. He has a little bit of help from Fury, but she's also taking care of her sister or brother. This kid is gender fluid. It's different every time. She's taking care of her sibling, and the tavern is the inn is actually full. There's some moose folk here. There's a
Some what?
tiefling sitting in the corner. There's a couple of tabaxi, which are like cat people, kind of like Khajiit from Morrowind or Elder Scrolls. There are
We don't want to be sued.
Hashtag not sponsored.
not at all.
We're big fans.
All right.
Bethesda.
There's a huge orc,
Tina.
actually O'Grillin, who's sitting in the tavern that you recognize from Brazelwood, who was the head of the Fuller's camp. Who
I
was
don't
somebody
think
that
I
you
do.
talked to.
Wait, was I at
He might look
Brazelwood?
vaguely familiar,
You
but
were.
I
That
don't
was the
have a clue.
bureaucracy place.
Oh.
But
I
yeah,
do
there's a
then.
ton of people in here drinking, eating, pretty loud. But Yohei sees you enter and gets the big smile on his face, and he starts getting together some tankards, and they're empty, and he's kind of looking like, what do you want? But it's this, you can get from his open mouth and nod. It's a, what do you want in these tankards, open mouth and nod.
And I sadly hold up 4 fingers as the other 3 of them walk in.
Okay, he nods and he
Does
starts
I don't think
filling
Kalman
them
can
out.
drink. Let's establish something. Can Kalman
thought you
imbibe
did.
liquids at all? And if he can, is he of drinking age? And if he is, should he be drinking?
He-
boy.
He's
I
definitely
poured-
not of drinking age,
I
but he
cast
can
grease
drink.
and I put it in a tankard for him.
No, I asked 3 separate
boy.
questions.
He takes the tankard. Do you put grease in one?
Nah.
Okay.
That
1,
was
he
just a
can
joke.
drink. 2, he's not old
He
enough.
takes the
3.
ale and he sips some of it. This is fun.
You didn't actually answer my question.
Does the speech impediment go away the more he drinks?
I guess we'll see. Bottoms up.
You know what? Who cares anymore?
All right.
And I sit down at a
Bring
table
some-
and start.
Ale and
I grab my tankard and I say, "Is there a room I could go to?" Where?
This is
He's
an
pointing
audio
up.
podcast.
Yohei nods and then points up to the ceiling towards
Alright.
the stairs.
I'll grab my ale. And I say, "I'm gonna take this up there. Is that all right?" And I'll
He
go
nods
up,
and points.
and I slam the door as I
Bang!
get in there.
okay.
Foley work. You're welcome.
You can barely hear the door slam downstairs with all the noise in the tavern.
I
That's
guess
why
I'm going to go sit with Kira.
Okay.
And I'm reading.
I'm sitting there dejectedly nursing my ale.
So,
So drinking's fun.
sure it is, buddy. Do you want to talk?
I'm just sad right now.
Yup.
Fury walks over to the table and she says, "You're back.
Yes, we are.
I think Alani will want to know. Yohei, excuse me. I'll be right back." And he gets this panicked look on his face that he's going to be left alone to tend this bar. And Kalman hops up. He says, "Need some help, Yohei?" And Yohei just nods. And Kalman's back behind the bar now, and he is happily cleaning away at some of the glasses back there. And
Did
Fury
he
leaves.
finish his drink?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy, this.
I was
might
going to
be
finish it
interesting.
for him if he didn't, but I'm
Nope.
just saying Arn is bigger, so...
You get the impression that he took the first sip and then it was gone, and then he was just pretending to sip at it after that.
But I'm assuming they have ogre-sized cups anyway, so...
You
Because
want
they
a
have an
bigger
O'Willan one.
Did I say ogre?
Yes, you did.
I all look alike.
Give me a break.
Do
They
I,
both start with an O.
do I need to make some coffee for you?
I already had coffee today is the sad thing.
Okay, so it's the
I'm
two of you
embarrassed now.
at the table, or we could go up. What's the Grease Wizard doing?
Reading, trying to distract himself.
Just going to be in with your homunculus book for the evening, you think?
He
Okay.
feels far deeper than any of us realized.
Okay.
Does Fury come back with Alani?
After a little
Oh,
while,
yeah, I was gonna-
Alani comes back. She says, "You've made it back. Well, a few of you, two of you," and Kalman waves. Three
Four of
you.
us.
Four. Who?
Grease Wizard is upstairs reading a book. Dern decided to leave.
Dern
He's
abandoned us
okay?
and the world, but yeah, he's totally fine.
Well,
And we don't care. Right, Kira?
he helped us a lot here. We owe him nothing.
You better feel guilty over there.
And we owe you nothing. But as you've seen, have you been around the village? It's grown considerably since you left.
Yeah, what's happening here?
We've had refugees from Silver's Blessing. There was sort of a financial collapse that occurred there, and many of them fled in the riots.
Well, I'm glad you're benefiting from their collapse.
Well, across
Congratulations.
across the river, they've set up a refuge. They've even brought their orchard with them.
So what's it?
What?
What?
Their apple orchard, the golden apples.
How did they bring their orchard? Their trees.
Well, they're treants.
Carefully.
The treants awoke the trees and brought them here. They've set up a whole orchard north of the river near the mill and built their cider press.
Are the golden apples special in some way?
Well, they just make the finest cider and
just really
all
yummy.
of the island, yeah.
Oh, what
Can I
about
get
that
a
tent
golden
in the middle of
apple?
town?
Oh, that's some of the moose folk from Moonglade have set up. They had a shop called Founder's Forge back in Moonglade, but unfortunately,
A forge
Moonglade
and a
fell to the
tent.
blight. And the moose folk have set up a shanty town at the southeastern edge of town. And just below the river, the folks from Brazelwood, which fell to the blight too, have set up a place for their shepherds and their blorp beasts. They rebuilt the
Blarg.
Brazelwood in our old common house across
Is the blurp beast
where
not the
Malork
Auroch?
lived. No, it's a different creature.
Oh.
Remember when we were fighting the blink raptors?
They're like the size of cows, but they have sheep type
And they
wool.
had no skin.
When we came back.
Because you had
Yeah.
skinned them.
Yeah.
One of them was a skeleton.
And do they move weird?
No. Well, when
Okay.
they were dead, they did.
I'm
just-
having a
they
hard
just
time
blurped.
visualizing them.
I don't think you'd have a frame of reference since the only ones you've seen have lacked skin.
No, they were alive during the Blink
She
Raptor
butchered one.
stampede,
Oh, that's
but
right.
then they got killed, and she butchered one, and then it was a skeleton.
And then
when
I
we came
remembered I
back.
was a vegetarian. I sold the beef. Yeah.
Now it all comes back.
But we've been really shoring up our defenses here in town. The blight has moved north considerably. We're having attacks almost daily outside of the thorny hedges that I've reinforced in the jungle. The moose folk are going... they were the tree wardens of Moonglade, and they're patrolling throughout the jungle and keeping the blight at bay for now. It seems that they're just a few scattered needle blights and twig blights, and there was even a woodwode who looked like he had turned.
Not Winston, was it?
No, Winston is fine. He's daily resting by the Kokiku River, and he's been helping us with some of the protections around town,
Good.
setting up sentries. But it's only a matter of time before we're going to have to make our stand here, I think.
Well, we're going to do our best to try and stop that.
We have
How?
somewhat of a plan.
We kind of have a plan.
What is it?
Don't worry about it.
We got to go to the Underdark through the Temple of the First Land. And it's kind of frightening.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know if whoever it is has, like, spies or whatever. So
Alani's like,
I know Alani's cool.
Okay.
I'm just saying maybe we should try and...
talk quietly.
Yeah, I guess.
You can go to the Raventree if you'd like.
Like, just, like, go near it?
Yeah, we can walk over there
It's
and have some
quiet
privacy and talk.
Oh, like right now. Not like
Yeah.
that's part of our plan now.
No.
Aside from walking there to talk about our plan.
Guys,
It's rarely frequented by anyone but me and Baba Ganoush and
Oh, old Spitleaves is still here?
old Spitleaves. Yeah, she's still around.
yeah, whatever.
I'm just glad you're back. I'll be around by the Raventree if you need to talk. You've done so much for us. I do have something else I would ask, if you were willing.
Slightly nervous now.
It kind of depends.
Willing to at least hear of it.
Well, there's this gnome here, Pippi. She's come from Silver's Blessing in the refuge. And she's been in contact with Labyrinth with her carrier pigeons. And they said that they were willing to trade with us. You see, we don't have the supplies to save us from this attack. But if you would go and talk to her, she's been raising a collection for some money to go and trade with Labyrinth. But they won't bring anything here on their carts. The roads are unsafe.
We know someone from Labyrinth who may be possible to, or may be able to help.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. His name is Max.
Allegedly.
And Max,
Allegedly, yes.
Max, after he appeared at the Raventree, went up to Jerry and Jenny's, just longing to be near a
worlds
cart.
collide.
But if you would talk to, if you were interested in helping us with that, you could talk to Pippi. She's staying in the new common house.
I have no idea how we could possibly help with that, but yeah, sure.
At this
Yeah.
point, I finished my ale, so.
Because if the roads aren't safe, what are we going to do? Fly?
Well, ostensibly, we could fight them and clear them.
Sam's like, whoa.
Sam's not here right now.
Well, Sam is.
True. Grease Wizard isn't.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll stand up
Thank you for flying greasy air. I just
Pretty
wanted.
sure I've been on that plane.
I just wanted to say that. Yeah, I'll stand up too. Let's go meet Pippi.
Yep.
What's
So,
your last name?
Peepus.
You were not told
It's not
that.
Long Stockings, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
So you go over to the common house,
Petition to change it to Pippi Peepus now.
which is very close to the inn. And you see she's actually standing between the two of them. There's a bunch of cages there. Probably 150 pigeons in these cages.
That's almost enough.
And there's a gnome standing there who is just covered in pigeon crap and feathers. And it's just worked really into her hair. And she just is looking at her pigeons and apparently seems to be whispering something to them.
I just rolled a Constitution save because of the smell, and I somehow rolled an 18.
Okay, you feel all right?
Yep.
Oh, hi. Hi, friends.
Are you Pippi?
Are you
I am-
Calvin?
I sound just like Calvin. Maybe I should try something else.
Are you Pippi?
I don't know.
Do we need to give you a moment?
I'm just gonna have to. I only have so many voices, I guess. I'm Pippi Pigeon Toe.
Oh, I hate
Is
it.
that better or worse?
I think
That's worse.
I'd rather have Calman.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure this is how Billy Yum Yum 2x2 eventually came about.
Give
Reese
her a
Wizard
French
throws a rock
accent.
out the window.
Give her a French accent.
I am Pippi.
Yes, print it, roll with it.
That's as far as I'm going to get with the French accent, but we'll see. I am Pippi Pigeon Toe, tinker and pigeon handler extraordinaire. Pleasure to meet you.
Italian.
No, I am an Italian.
Mamma mia.
Welcome to Date Night's tour of Europe.
Next is Spanish.
I made the trip from Sylvain's blessing. I took a potion and I can't stop changing my voice.
We had someone like that.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Raventree was one of the few places my pigeons came back from with pleasant replies when I had left, was considering leaving Silver's blessing. I lost so many of my pigeons. I have so few left. And she motions at the cages.
How many did you have to start with?
At least 3 times this many.
That's a lot of pigeons.
It took
So-
a lot to get news of a place that hadn't been taken from the blight.
It's got to be loud too, though, right? Because like, have you ever been around a large group of pigeons?
yeah,
They are
there's-
noisy.
There's a lot of noise going on as they're not just cooing, but kind of walking back and forth on their perches.
Yeah,
and
that noise.
Fluttering and, yeah. Got some good
That
Foley
voice
work.
sounds familiar.
Yes,
That
I
Foley
rerolled
work.
a pigeon.
I've also sent a lot more pigeons out to try and secure help from nearby cities, and most are already in trouble. That's why so many refugees are here.
Well, we're here to help. Kind of.
Yes, we are here to help. Pointed look across the table.
Yeah.
Don't mind her.
Labyrinth.
Yes.
The labyrinth seems to be untouched by the blight. It's a little north of the trade triangle. It's a city with high walls and tall buildings. It's built around a dwarven forge that was built during the time of the war. It's populated almost entirely by goblins now, and they generally don't let any non-goblins inside, but the only exception is trade business, and they have quite a demand for it. The Rockseeker Forge makes almost all the weapons in the region worth using.
Ooh, Rockseeker.
Yeah, the Rockseeker Forge is at the center of the labyrinth. It was built during the time of the war.
Is it like a for real labyrinth?
Like a maze?
Yes.
No.
No.
It's just, you could get lost there if you don't know where you're going because of how narrow and twisted the streets are. But it would be silly to build a city as a maze.
No, I meant like, I thought maybe there was like
That
a
sounds
maze.
like it would be in a game or something.
That's so meta.
Bum, bum, bum.
Unfortunately for us, though,
Aren't all cities mazes if you get down to it?
Yeah.
what's that?
Aren't all cities mazes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for my pigeons.
Okay.
they can always find their way home unless... Well, I don't really want to think about it.
So
So
Alani
many
told
pigeons.
us Alani told us that you needed someone to help you establish trade in the labyrinth.
Yeah, we called for help from the Labyrinth, and they think they can ride out a siege from this blight, and they're not interested in sending any troops to Raventree, but they have issued us an invitation to trade, which is, as I said, hard to come by, but maybe there's not that many cities still around. They're not sending any caravans, though. They've said that the roads are too dangerous.
So how would we transport stuff?
It would be a dangerous journey, none of that any of us are willing to make, except, well, Zev has said that he would set out on the road.
Who now?
No, Zev, he was here when we got here. You don't know him?
We just got
If
here.
I knew him, would I have asked?
Well,
She's a little grumpy right now. Forgive her.
He's a half orc.
Orin is an angry drunk.
He's a half orc who's been helping us sort of set up defenses here in town. Anyway, I don't
My
think
people.
he could go alone, though. He says that we absolutely need these weapons if we're going to hold the line, I think is what he said. I don't know. But if we're going to defend against a real attack with very few real warriors, I would say, and my pigeons aren't going to be much help, we are going to need some weapons.
Teeny tiny little pigeon breastplates.
I love pigeon armor.
I've been putting together donations from the refugees here at the Rotary Club, and we have. Oh,
You thought you could just skip over that.
oh, that's a club we have here where we all sit in a circle and we move around.
Yeah.
Of course.
We have some goods that we think. You see, the Rock Seeker Forge won't trade for goods, but they have general stores and things there. We think they would trade those goods for something that we might find valuable. But we have some things that they might find valuable if they're going to try and ride out a siege, like some stuff from the orchard. And we do have a few gold pieces that may be of some use to secure some things from the forge itself. I don't know. It's asking a lot for anybody to take these goods and try to survive the bandits and the blight along the road. But if you would, it would sure give us a chance of holding out when this attack from the south comes.
Is Labyrinth south of here?
No, it's to the northeast,
Fantastic.
north of the triangle.
Different direction from Temple of the First Lands.
Yes.
I look around and see how near Max may be.
Max is pretty nearby. I can pass you the map. You're near the common house, and he went over to Jerry and Jenny's, so almost shouting distance.
But if we're successful in our quest, they might not even need this stuff, really.
What quest? Or are you just talking at the table?
I'm talking now.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I yell over, "Hey, Max!"
And Max kind of nods
Yo, dog!
to Dudley. It looks like he was engrossed in conversation with. And he...
Gross is the word.
Yes, gross. Heavy on the gross. And he moves over in your direction. Yes?
Hey, Max, she's trying to find a way to get to Labyrinth. They don't want to trade because the road is too dangerous.
Yes. They usually would send out caravans. That's how I got started on the road. I ran a caravan for the Rock Seeker Forge for a while.
Do you think you might be able to help her come up with a way to get there? I know you only have one of your Arcana cow.
I could
things.
pull a wagon with the beast, but yeah, I don't see why I couldn't pull a wagon if the roads are still good.
The roads themselves are good. There's just
The roads are fine. It's dangerous a little.
It seems that there is danger everywhere right now. Yes.
Don't adjust. I mean, won't that dude go with him to help him?
maybe you guys could go talk to Zev as well, and maybe you guys could figure something out. Are you trying to tell us to ride on this thing and help clear the road?
I'm not telling you. You should, figure out what's going on, or anything else going on around town.
Okay. Fair.
Because there's a lot of new stuff there, but it ends up being up to you what you want to do.
Do they have a Starbucks now?
No Starbucks. Cider press set up. That's about the closest thing. The melon farmers were growing some pumpkins in the fall, so they might have some pumpkin spice cider going on up there.
I am not that basic.
I am, though.
Hi,
That's Sam talking.
Thanks for listening to Date Night Podcast with me, Will, your friendly neighborhood game mom. If you like the show, we can really use your help to spread the word. So share the show with a friend or family member who you think might enjoy the story. You can also help by following us on social media like Twitter at Date Night Podcast and sharing our posts from there. That's also the best way to follow our giveaways and announcements about the show. Now, let's get back to the action. I would be willing to drive the wagon to Labyrinth. I would like to get back there, but if you say it is unsafe, I would feel more comfortable with a little bit of help.
Well, how long do you think the trip is?
It's maybe if you were walking besides a wagon, I don't know if you would all fit with the one beast, but less than 3 days.
I mean, we could
If we could all ride, maybe less than 2 days.
steal an Auroch and
This is possible, I would think.
Don't isn't that one from the Bandit King still just like wandering?
Yeah, there's
around?
one Oryx here, I think.
oh, I lost my train of thought. I mean, we could take the wagon there and then use the staff to come back. So it wouldn't be a 6-day trip. It would be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
I feel like we're supposed to do it, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm feeling a distinct nudge to go there.
If for no other reason than at least to help satisfy the Grease Wizard's hope that Dern will return.
And while we're there, I can look at this Journal of Glen Rockseeker that can only be read by a
Stoneseeker.
Rockseeker.
Oh, wait, what?
Stone Seeker.
Well, he's been saying Rockseeker.
I know, but the journal says Stone Seeker.
No, it's Rock Seeker.
Okay, I wrote it down wrong.
You wrote it down wrong.
I think
He
it
said that
has.
in
I wrote it
the
down
same,
very,
like,
very wrong.
confrontational
I think
term.
it has.
Your
switched,
sheet doesn't matter anymore.
But in episode 0, it's Rock Seeker.
Okay.
Well, okay, well, you could have brought that up sooner.
Yeah, but I'm kind of trying to save the world as well. It's hard to know what to do.
Let's go. I bet they have a Starbucks there.
Okay.
The Labyrinth Starbucks.
I'm just having a hard time not imagining David Bowie as the...
Yeah, really.
Frappuccino in his
Jareth.
You can't
running
say
the forge.
Labyrinth and not have me imagine David Bowie.
Especially when only goblins are allowed. Are we going to find Ludo?
Wait, hold on. I didn't put that together. That's nice.
Are we going to run into Ludo on the way? Because that'd be really awesome. Ludo friend. Sorry. Why are you making...
He's scribbling notes furiously.
All right. So what do you want to do for now? You're still sort of there with Pippi
We should
and
take a
Max.
long rest. Oh, well, wait. We should meet Zev.
Mm-hmm.
And because he was going to come with us, right? Okay, we should meet Zev, and then we should take a long rest.
Agreed.
And we should leave in the morning.
and drag the Grease Wizard along with us, saying, "We'll be back."
We'll be back. He'll be fine.
All right.
He may
So,
need extra time to get here.
Don't talk to me before I've had my son.
You ask around town a little bit, and you find Zev is north of the river, drilling near the barracks. He's training a couple of
Oh, I thought you
folks
meant
there.
drilling like drilling.
Yeah, he's looking for grease. Looking for that.
Looking for grease in
So,
all the
he's
wrong places.
over there
Remember that good
training
slippery
some
stuff.
folks. And so Zev, you've been here a little while in the weeks of that the rest of the party has been gone, and you've seen a lot. Like I've described to the others, Raventree is bustling now. You've been accepted as a friend based on Alani's visions from the Raventree concerning your lineage and your purpose. You came to Raventree because of the call of your father, Akagi, that was calling you to the blade foe-bearer that he carried for so long. You came as quickly as you could, and after talking to Alani, you believe you were called very soon, maybe even the night of Akagi's death, when you were trying to match things up. You've bonded with the sword since then, and your patron has made it clear that your priority is to end the fiend's encroachment from the south, something that you've been working very hard to do here from a defensive standpoint. So you've been a big part of the preparation, even in just this short time. First off, you went and returned the second stone to the Temple of the Second Land with Philium, Melaleg, and Rickmosh. And other than an encounter with some gnolls, it was pretty much without incident. Since then, the water flowing down the Kama Creek has been clear. It's been unblighting sort of the land around it. And there's been crops that have been planted, winter crops in the north of town.
Like
and using
pumpkins.
that water on them has caused them to grow considerably in this short period of time. Your strength has also been helpful, as you've aided in the construction of the new barracks. And for the first time in your life, you've seen some members of your Orchid lineage at home. You've maybe seen them from afar in the 10,000 cities, raiding the outskirts of the lands there and across the bay. And you've always seen them as being wild and savage creatures. But now you see a different side of them. Orcs that are working together with moose folk, goblins, and even a handful of gnomes and
You
tieflings.
can't just say moose.
Moose folk.
They're also called Mosin.
Yeah, Mosin. Farmers. They're basically here. They're giving people
Hashtag
insurance
not sponsored.
for reasonable prices. But they're just regular people. Your mother told you that orcs used to live this way at one time, but it seemed to you that that was a time in a distant past, sometime before the war had changed them forever. But here in Sator's shadow and under his sister's guidance, it seems that they have returned to those old ways. How you feel about that, and how what you were expecting in terms of going and reuniting with your orc lineage is for you to decide. But
Doing the same thing. Like,
it's certainly different than what you expected, and everybody's giving Mike the stink eye as he pulls out his
I
new
totally
character
saw
sheet.
this coming.
You missed him, daggone it.
I missed him on purpose because I don't know if we're there yet in terms of actually hitting him with a foam puzzle piece.
You can hit him with a phone puzzle piece if I've thrown a die at Sam.
So Zev is up there instructing some people on the use of spears.
Wait, I have questions.
Yeah.
What do you mean patron?
I don't know.
You said your patron made it pretty clear.
Yep,
What does that mean?
he knows what that means.
Okay, fine. Half orc, half what?
Human. You
Okay.
can tell
That's
that.
typically what half
Well,
Well, it
races
doesn't
mean.
have. It
It
doesn't have
actually
to
doesn't
be.
have to be.
There are
It doesn't have
dwarves.
to be. So
Yes, there
And
are dwarves,
also-
and they are.
but he's half
But
orc,
like,
half
where did
human,
he
right?
come from? I thought the orcs and humans were bitter enemies.
Where did you come
Sometimes
from?
that's where babies come from.
Okay.
Raiders.
You know, that's really beautiful.
That's where a lot.
In a terrible, terrible, not beautiful way.
That's where a lot of Irish Norse people come from, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
we've got 3 of them.
Everyone is like, yeah.
My ancestors were terrible.
At least on one side. Okay.
Does this guy look familiar to anyone else?
Kind
There's
of.
something in his eyes.
Pretty sure he's going to say y'all at some point.
It's the orcish y'all.
The orcish y'all.
Y'all.
See, I was literally about to ask a couple minutes ago, oh, whenever I speak Orcish from now on, can that just be me speaking Spanish? But I feel like that might not pan out in this situation. Well, actually, if he doesn't know anything about orc culture, it might.
You might. I guess you know orcish, just based on.
I mean, it's in the book, but I can't see where he would have actually
Right.
ever.
Self-study.
What?
An independent study.
Just so,
So
you know,
you're-
I'm going to have a lot of.
So you walk up, Arn
Stink eye.
Yeah.
and Kira walk up to Zev, who's
fair.
again just training some people there.
But I don't know that yet.
No. When you thrust, make sure it is a straight thrust. Not you are way off target. Try again.
What accent is that?
I do not.
I need to know.
That sounds nothing like hers.
I wasn't trying to go for Spanish.
Yeah, my first thought was Inigo Montoya.
That
I
would
wasn't
be
trying to go
Spanish.
for that either. Okay.
Mine was more. It sounded kind of.
This seems like a stupid question, but just to be sure, are you Zev?
Oh yes. Hello.
I don't like the way you look at me when you do the Zev voice.
Sorry, when he said that, my head just started. Oh yes, and I'm also Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Yes, I did kill your father after he was
I
dead.
am looking for my father. No.
I killed him
Bad
again.
news, bud. So we heard that you're gonna help defend the wagon or whatever, something about trading. I don't know, I'm just here to bash heads together.
That is a good aim, I suppose. But yes, I was planning on helping the gnome. Pepe, yes. I haven't known her for very long, clearly. But yes, I was going to go to the labyrinth and try to help her caravan get there. Hi, I'm Zev, and you see a half orc.
Strangely polite.
You see a half orc of approximately. I was raised in the greatest city on earth, Gast. We are always polite there. Anyways,
I'm polite.
half orc.
I have this axe to prove it.
It's a politer smiter.
Half orc, pale green skin, about 6.5 feet tall, very thin for a half orc. Even like if you hadn't already been told it was a he coming up from behind without seeing his face, you might have thought it was a female half orc.
Are you a vegetarian too?
No, just anyways.
Slender.
He's got on just very common browns, linens kind of clothes. He's got some patchwork leather armor, and you might see a couple of chains from a chain shirt underneath everything. And then 2 daggers on his side.
Okay.
That's the he's also for his tusks are again very small for a half orc. Barely protruding out from under his lip.
And what class is Zev, out of curiosity, if we are allowed to ask that question?
Yeah.
He's got 2
we
daggers.
Can look at him.
Yeah, right. He's got 2
Didn't know
daggers.
What class he was yet until you figure that out. If he wants to
In
hide
case
it.
someone wants to read. No.
Do I have another foam puzzle piece anywhere?
I've got some extra dice here. Here's my cursed green one.
That's my throwing dice. Okay. What are we supposed to do with this?
May I ask who you are?
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm
Sorry.
polite. Stop laughing, Kira.
I'm laughing at myself and crying. I'm Kira. Sorry, one of our companions decided to leave us, and I'm a little upset at this point.
Well, that is very sad.
I'm Arin, and I'm polite. Arin Bloodfang.
Hello, Arin. It is a pleasure to meet both of you. I take it you're asking about the cart because you are planning on coming, or you just
No, we just
idle-
thought we'd stop by.
And
yes,
say
we're
hi.
coming.
Okay, I feel like there's a lot of hostility here that I'm not sure I deserve. But
No, you deserve it,
okay,
Mike.
who is Mike?
That's me.
Zev looks
is
over
this
his
how I hold
shoulder.
the spear? That's Mike you've been drilling with today. Is this how I hold the spear?
Close, Mike.
The point down, though?
No, not the point.
So I can stab
Here.
people in the feet?
And Zev comes over and just fixes the script, turns the spear the right way.
All right.
Little farther apart. Okay, that's. Why don't you try again?
Okay.
It's rolling on
I
it.
didn't do good.
It's okay. We will practice.
I fell into the hay bale.
At least it was a soft landing, sort of. Because you think hay would be soft, but when you least expect it.
It sticks you.
But okay.
Oh, and there's a gnome coming with us. Not
Right,
not
And
Pippi.
Kalman.
Oh,
Oh, and there's also
is Calvin with them or no? Calvin.
He's at the bar.
there's also
Or
Modron.
the inn.
Modron, gnome, half elf, half orc.
I think we're both half human also.
May I ask, what is a modron?
It's like a gear creature.
Imagine if a migraine had wheels.
But has legs instead.
I thought he had wheels.
No.
Do you know
shaped
what
like
a
Mike
modron
Wazowski.
is?
It basically looks like a ball with legs.
A ball with
A
legs.
brass ball with legs, and it talks.
Well, I'm going to keep picturing him with
And
wheels.
This is another one of
Fair.
your companions? Or
Yes, his name is Kalman.
Kalman. Okay.
Kalman Coggles -6. And he likes to fish fash the mish.
No, he doesn't like it when he fish fashes the Mitch.
Well, that's after his trial.
I'm not going to ask. Okay. You see him kind of like just sit there and repeats it a couple of times to try to make sure that he...
Oh, and the gnome has a half-built homunculus.
If I might ask, what is a homunculus?
You will be disturbed. Very, very
like
disturbed.
how we our old companion that we used to be friends with. He was like super like anti half-built homunculus, called it like an abomination. So if you're into abominations, I guess you'll be fine with it. But it's like, it's just nasty.
I know what an abomination is. The other children used to call me that when I was little.
That's sad.
So I hold the spear like this?
Yes, that is good. Try that.
Yeah, and that's what my father called me too. We all can cry.
Oof. Oof.
Very
Okay.
polite.
Okay. But really though, are you coming to Labyrinth or
Yes, but not tonight
not?
because we need to
Okay.
rest. But otherwise, yes, we just got into town.
Yeah, I'm still
when-
down to 39 hit points. So
When
Maybe
when
someone
would you
said
be
my hip
available? When would you be available?
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow?
I guess. Unless you need some more time.
Okay. I have to check with Pippi, but
I think she's
that would
good for
work.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we just got to
We're
get
kind of
Max.
in a rush, so
Right.
We got to save the world and all.
yeah,
Save the world.
don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we've already purified 2 of the stones. We were hunting the 3rd one, and then we had to go see the turtle.
Wait, the stones,
Yes.
like the ones that come from the temple.
Yes.
Okay, I know a bit about that. I had to take one back.
He took it back. We went all the way there. We grabbed the stone, brought it back, and purified it, and then he took it back.
The big
think it's
Goliath.
supposed to
I
go
think
back.
they're called Goliaths.
But we left it here because we are totally
I'll
ignoring
let you
you at this
talk.
point.
I'll be
But the cultists were gonna.
no like this, my friend. Hands. Here.
Oh.
Yes.
But the
Now we
cultists were
put
gonna
them
come back,
down
or
here.
we wanted to avoid that.
The cultists.
All of them?
That is good.
Oh.
And it seems fine so far.
Well, that's true.
Okay, we're back.
Hello. So yeah, the big the Goliath guy told me that we
Philium?
needed to. Yes, that was his name. Thank you. I forget things sometimes. He told me.
I
that we
remember
needed
things
to-
sometimes.
That's fantastic.
Like slights.
Oh.
There's a lot. There's some bad vibes in this room right now, listener.
Amy
got
casts
bad
vicious
blood.
mockery, and I'm just going to sit here and take the damage.
I warned you.
But yes, he had a group of us took it back, and I think that's what actually fixed the river here.
All right.
Okay.
It's all a bit over my head, but
Yeah, we did that.
You know what? We have that in common.
Hooray.
so
So-
you have fixed both of the stones.
Yes.
That sounds right.
That's amazing. How did you do such a thing?
Well, we had this really awesome dwarf helping us. But he left now,
I don't
so
know
I'm
what
a
you
little...
expected, honestly. Like, I feel kind of bad, but
No, it's fair. It's fair.
honestly, like, I don't know. I kind of blanked out for a lot of it.
Yeah,
I do
you
that
seem
too.
to do that a lot for the things that you were there for.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kira is in a really bad mood right now.
I'm noticing.
Yeah, we did that.
Mhm.
And we won the Albagula games.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
What are these games? I have heard of cornhole. They tell me about it here. But I have not heard of Albagula. How do you play? He seems really happy and excited.
It's like a
Giant turtle with a city on its back.
Albagul is the turtle, and then there's some games that happen like it's like in the city that's on the turtle's back, and
There's a city on the turtle's back?
It's a really big turtle. It's a dragon turtle.
and then like we all killed each other, but not for real, because there was like a cooldown room,
It was really cool. The white room.
It is amazing.
and then we all got arrested.
Except I don't think I died once.
Did
during
we
the game.
get any prize money?
I don't think we did. We just got to talk to Takashi.
Do we deserve prize money?
We do deserve prize money after winning
you
that
got to
badly.
pick if you wanted the
Oh, that's right.
treasure or the knowledge.
Well, now we have like our.
And we won a bunch of
Notoriety.
knowledge, and I'm not from this plane, but also I am from this plane, and it's, whatever, so that's about it.
And I still don't know who my mommy is.
And she has severe parental issues.
Well, my father was the destroyer, so I feel like I can empathize.
Wasn't
there.
Akagi actually a pretty cool dude? Like, didn't we meet Akagi?
Yeah, we did, but that was after he.
Well, my mother told me that he became nice in his later years, but there was a whole campaign of death and destruction that allowed the orcs to have a foothold on Lamosh in the first place.
But
I
didn't
have vague
Lamosh
memories of
belong
this
to the
from years
orcs in
ago.
the first place, and the humans are trying to colonize it?
I was not there. I hadn't.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like, that's what the orcs told us. They said that you guys are stepping into, half of you, half of me. Wait, stop. Aaron burned herself out, I guess.
It's been a long dragon fighting day.
It's been a long day.
Anyway, that's not the story I heard.
I apologize. I know it must have been a long day for you. Perhaps we can speak again in the morning.
Okay.
This guy's too nice.
He's very nice.
I don't trust him. Me neither. No one is that
He's just
nice.
gonna leave us again.
No one is that nice.
Except you sometimes.
Thank you.
In the middle of a sentence, it changes.
Maybe it's a half orc thing.
What are you doing? Like,
Oh
we're all
no,
on
I'm sorry.
Suddenly he's there too, I guess. Okay, are we going to go take a long rest now? Is there anything else we should do?
We should go and talk to. We tell Pippi and Max of our plans to leave tomorrow if they're okay with that, and if not, then they can tell us, and then we can just go back to the.
Yeah, actually, how about we split up and you can go tell Pippi and Max, and I'm going to go tell the Grease Wizard what's going on.
Okay. For this time, go ahead and make an Arcana check for your time with the book.
He probably had a couple hours
9
reading.
plus 8, 17.
Okay. You get some more.
+8.
You get some more time with it. Probably. You could figure just you're going to spend probably the rest of this evening, right?
So, how I figured it in character, I don't think the Grease Wizard is going to be able to sleep. So I'm pretty sure he's going to just forfeit that long rest
Okay.
and read through the night.
Thanks.
Go ahead and do
Well-
do
If Dern can leave to play his character, I can forfeit a long rest to play my character.
you can. Go ahead and roll
No.
3 more Arcana checks.
A lot of bad
24.
vibes in here.
That's off the table. Oh, and a crit fail.
Ooh, okay. And you have one more.
And 26.
Some of those
26.
are really good.
24 and a crit fail.
Um,
I started crying during the crit
will
fail.
that time get you to the end of your
I've got 27 hours.
logged so far?
No, to go.
Oh, okay.
So if I started,
What
it
do
was
you know
noon.
about? What do you already know about the components needed for this?
All right, let's see. I know all of the components. I know phlegm, tears, sweat, black bile, yellow bile, and blood. Blood maybe can fly. Phlegm is the strongest bond.
Okay, those are the humors.
All of these are extremely disturbing.
You learn the components needed to complete the ritual to turn your homunculus from what you've learned as a larval state into
Oh, it's even worse.
into an adolescent state. You're going to need a bowl encrusted with 6 gems: citrine, diamond, ruby, opal, onyx, and emerald. And you learn that those gems represent the 6 temperaments.
Okay.
You also learn that sweat will lead to a reactive temperament, which makes a very adaptable homunculus. So that's sort of what you're going to learn throughout this evening.
Okay.
And you log your time. I mean, if you're forfeiting the long rest, you're talking, you can probably get 14 or 15 hours in.
Okay.
You might suffer a level of exhaustion. We'll roll for that in the morning.
Okay. That's fair.
All right.
But
Kira?
you're carrying a giant bag of
Can
stuff.
it be in 45 minutes? 15 hours, 45 minutes?
Okay.
Just so I can take off that. Okay. Rad.
Bless you.
Oh man.
Bless you.
Kira, you're going to talk to Pippi.
Yep.
Okay, Pippi. Oh, you are back.
What's this?
Oh, sorry. I speak in different accents to different pigeons. Some of them are from different places, and I get stuck in those accents sometimes.
And Kira just stares at her with her mouth open, speechless for a moment.
Do you know much about pigeons?
No.
I could tell you a lot about pigeons.
I just know that
Could you
they're
really?
edible.
Tell me a fun fact right now.
They have feathers.
I just know that they're edible and they taste quite yummy.
Let's talk about something else.
So we talked to Zev.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to leave tomorrow if we were able to find a wagon? Is Max still around?
The things are ready to go. I'm not going on the road. I have to stay with my pigeons. But I've done the collection. We've collected 540 gold, 2 casks of cider from Silver's Refuge. I can give you this paper. You don't have to
That
write that
doesn't
down.
seem like that many.
13 winter blankets from Brazelwood's Blorp Beasts.
13? At least it's a good number.
10 pounds of nuts and dried fruit from Founder's Forage.
That's a lot of nuts.
50 pounds of rice from
Perfect for a spell
Raventree's
squirrel.
storehouse. 2 bottles of rice wine from Yohei's private stash. And 2 rubies from a gem cutter that just arrived from Silver's Blessing.
Okay.
Maybe we should also go see Jenny and what's his name before we leave town. But we can do that
In the morning?
in the morning.
Yes.
I've been talking to folks in town, too, about some of the things that we might need while you're there. Some things to keep a lookout for.
Okay. Is that also on this mystical paper that you're talking of?
Kind of. There's more things that we need than we're going to be able to afford, though. So you're going to have to make some choices. You look like you're the type who's good at making choices.
No
Half-elf.
comments.
Would you like me to tell you, or would you like me to save that for the morning?
You can tell me.
Okay.
I'll make a note of it.
Well,
I might not be able to decide, but I'll make a note of them.
For one thing, our farmers' tools here are really insufficient for working with winter crops. Raventree, so far as they told me, never farmed outside of the warm season. And the harder ground and crops that aren't rice require a sort of different set of tools than they're used to using. Even a handful of those would be really helpful, or even some hooks for fishing out of the river. We have nothing here in terms of metal. We're lacking so much. We have been trying to make bows.
What are they making in the forge then?
No, forage. They've been foraging. That's the ones who had the nuts. There's
That
no,
makes more sense.
yeah, no, not forge.
You could understand the confusion though.
Mm-hmm. It's my pigeon accent. We've been trying to make bows, but the range we're getting from them is not fantastic. We'd be outmatched if the rumors that Billy Yum Yum 2x2 has mentioned are true, and the Hobgoblin Warband is part of the Horde now. So we could really use a couple dozen longbows. You're not going to find those at the forge. But
Half a dozen?
Maybe a couple dozen.
Oh, a couple dozen.
Up to. You won't be able to maybe afford that many. But they might have some of them in the city. We've also been making arrows and spears, but making heads with no real forge here is difficult. Arrowhead and spearheads for the bulk of our defenses would be needed for us to be well equipped. We have leather from Brazelwood that we've been making armor with, but we have no metal armor for our front lines if the fighting gets hand to hand. Right now, the moose folk have been patrolling the jungle, trying to keep stragglers from climbing in over the hedges, and they have little more than leather coats and mauls with stone heads on them. They're big and powerful warriors, and they would be a force to be reckoned with if they had some heavier armor or deadlier weapons. I really doubt you'll be able to secure any kind of siege engines. Rickmosh has been talking about wanting those.
I don't think that's going to
catapult,
fit on a wagon.
but it would be nice.
Maybe some plans.
Finally, our construction here, both of the homes and of the defense towers and platforms behind the thorn wall, has ground to a halt. All for lack of nails. We've been trying to make do with wooden pegs and lashing things together with vines, and a few pounds of nails would speed things up considerably. And anything else really that you can get your hands on that you think we might need. Labyrinth is known for its metalwork, and that's what we need most without having a real forge here. So get what you can. I'll do my best to reach out for more help, maybe to other places to trade or anybody who wants to aid in our defense. And Rick Mosh and has said he'd be willing to take over drilling the refugees and preparing them to fight. That's about it, I guess.
All right. I'll see what I can
So
do.
can you remember all that?
I wrote it down.
I was being funny.
Oh,
Like it's a joke.
sorry.
Here's the list
I don't
of
get it.
what you have in the cart that Max will have loaded.
Okay, good night.
That's it. Long rest time.
Do I
Sure.
have to roll for the nightmares?
Mm-hmm.
Nightmares.
18.
Nope.
Okay.
You only have them on a 1, so.
Gotcha.
Who even is this guy?
All right, that's that. So morning comes back around. Grease Wizard, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Nope. 4.
You are level 1 of exhaustion, and you
That's
didn't.
7, actually, with my...
No, it's still level 1.
Okay.
You didn't get your spell slots back. You have a short rest in this time because you're there. So if you want to roll any hit dice, and you get spell slots, a couple back
based
for
on
a
that.
short rest. Yeah,
Yeah. I get half my wizard level.
2 levels of slots, so you could get 2 first or 1 second.
Okay.
All right. Morning rolls around. Everybody's feeling better.
Man, you look really tired.
Yep. Right on. All right, let's go. Where are we going? Where are we off to?
I think we're gonna go to Jerry and Jenny's first. That'll
All right.
make you feel better, won't it, buddy? Get some new stuff.
Can we go get some breakfast first?
Let's do that, and we'll be back. Thanks for listening to Date Night.
Hashtag, hashtag please sponsor us.
Okay, so we're gonna have a contest where everyone submits what they think our
Jingle.
jingle should be.
Actually, that's a pretty good idea.
Is that
No.
the homunculus trying to sing it? What was
Yes.
That's Dern.
that?
Just go ahead and throw that out.
Hey, we hope you've enjoyed our date night together. You can really help us out on social media. No matter which platform you listen to us, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks.